Starting at midnight tonight, the Sheriff's Department will no longer detain people for crimes such as theft, shoplifting, drug use, vandalism, battery, and a whole host of other non-serious, non-violent crimes that affect the quality of life of people here in Los Angeles County.
LA Deputy DA John McKinney explains that due to Judge Lawrence Riff's ruling, many people arrested will be released immediately without having to pay bail before their arraignment.
Judge Riff made the point of saying that he implored California officials like the sheriff, the chief of police, the district attorney, the city attorney. He implored them to testify, to explain why he shouldn't issue this order, and he was surprised when no one stood up to challenge it.
No one challenged it. Not LAPD Chief Michael Moore, LA County Sheriff Robert Luna, or District Attorney George Gascon.
What's going on, YouTube? It's Coffee, back with the news. Jump in the comments, let's talk. Y'all hear that breaking news out there in LA? 50 Cent commenting on this, saying it's gonna get bad out there in LA, you know? His exact words were, LA is finished. Watch how bad it gets out there. And you know, there's been a lot of reports about how just off the hook it's been LA over the past couple years. I believe ever since the sickness really jumped off. Comment with your thoughts about that. But I'm curious to know where you're from, and join the discussion. Comment, what is the policy on bail? You know, I'm originally from New York, not the city, New York State, but I've been away for some time. But I recall when I moved, you know, to Florida, right, there was word that New York did this, where there would be no bail, just appearance tickets, you know, or you get a court date or whatever, as long as it wasn't like a violent felony. For the most part, you were getting released on your own recognizance, you know, as long as you was coming back, making those court dates and everything like that. And, you know, where I was from originally, that's how it was off the rip for the most part. If you were getting bagged up for something and it wasn't really serious, you would just get an appearance ticket. You know, they didn't really have the time to jam people up on more petty offenses. But then it was wild. I moved to Florida. They were locking people up for a bag of weed. They were hitting people with astronomical bails. It was insane. They had a work program that they were slaying people with, like during work hours too, so you couldn't work and pay the fines that they would hit you with in the court fees, because motherfuckers were losing their job because they had to be at the work program 6 a.m. every day. It was wild, you know? But the whole idea behind bail is it's just, you know, like y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Like how it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. Often, you know, the justice system works the opposite way. And, you know, they would use that, the system would use that to push people to take pleas on charges, on petty charges, you know, and then next time when you come back, you have something on your record. It's not a first time offense where, you know, say someone get locked up, they don't really have the money to make bail. So then they just say, oh, take this plea and get this probation and we'll let you go home, you know, because individuals would go to jail for something petty and their whole life would fall apart and they would lose their job, etc. And oftentimes it could just be some BS they didn't even really do, you know. So this bail system of, you know, of just not really having bail unless it's a serious or violent offense is supposed to help, you know, the everyday individual when it comes to that. But 50 Cent here is saying that it's going to have ish twisted out there in LA, that there's just too much crime, that the streets is just going to be chaos. I don't know. Tap in with your thoughts about LA, about the bail system, about it all. Let's talk about it. And again, what is it like where you live? Join the discussion. Tap in.
When I go to these young pages and I only see one like, after 8 minutes, all that tell me is everybody you growed up with, they see it and they go by. They don't hit that button. Why don't they hit that button? Is it because of the things they've said amongst others and they don't want to seem flawed, liking or supporting what you got going on? 80% of the time when I see my people, I ain't even listening to that. I like it. If that's my partner, if that's my homie, and if that's what he on, I'm with it too. I like it.
Rose talk about some likes, man. I don't know. I forget what movie it was. There was a movie where this lady, I think it was that Vacation movie, she was talking to one of her friends, like, yo, we're friends. Well, why don't you like my pics on the gram, bitch? Like, I don't really personally give a fuck about social media, but it's not knocking people that do. It's a regular part of society nowadays. And I don't know, Rose saying, if a motherfucker can't take the time to like your post, like if they do use social media and they're scrolling past your ish, they ain't a real friend. Do you agree with that statement? I say fuck it all, man. We gotta get this society. We gotta get this ish out of our minds, man. Fuck what individuals think about us. Not even really talking about likes and social media, just in general. If you worry about what people think, it'll affect your confidence in the way you handle your business and the way you rock. And that's a fact. I'm sure a lot of us have had those problems in life, man. You just gotta stay focused and stay on an even keel, and get all the negative drama and ish out your mind. R.I.P. to Mutulu Shakur, stepfather of Tupac. He passed away as a free man, though, because this was a thing a year or so ago. The family and supporters of Mutulu Shakur were pressing the issue because he had been granted a compassionate release, because he had been behind bars in the feds forever, felt like, for some armored truck robbery, bank robbery or whatever. And they're like, listen, this man is dying. Allow him the decency to come home and die with his family. And, they were the system was dragging its feet, metaphorically speaking, when it came to crossing the T's and dotting the I's and lowercase J's that they had to do with the paperwork and everything for the motions to go through and let this man come home. It was like, yo, let him come home. Let him die with dignity with his family. And they ended up finally doing it, and that is where he died as a free man. But it was wild. It was just scary seeing this play out. Like please don't, this man, because reports were that he was in really bad shape, and his death was imminent. But so it was scary. Like, man, maybe could he pass before they let him out? But he ended up being able to get out, and he ended up actually living a lot longer than expected. He held on strong. So R.I.P. to him. Tap in with your thoughts on his death and the whole compassionate release. Let's talk about it. And last on the news, man, say it ain't so. Allegedly, reportedly, y'all see the footage. They're saying some goons caught Rowdy Rebel lacking and got him for his iced out rollie. Isn't that crazy, man, that when you do all that to the watch, it actually hurts the value of the watch? You got to leave it plain Jane if you want it to retain its value. And all this jewels, you would think would give it some value. I don't know, but I guess with the rollie, the value is not so much in the diamonds and I don't know, keeping it original is the way to go. But I don't know, no really word on this. Just the same typical ish where some goons catch a rapper lacking and put it on the gram, on social media. I haven't seen Rowdy Rebel say anything. But what do y'all think about Rowdy Rebel and Bobby? It was like, wow, Rowdy Rebel came home a little earlier than Bobby. And it was like these dudes were coming home at a time where the blogosphere was being pushed with this kind of what we're seeing now, where a lot of rappers are snitching and people are just saying, yo, fuck it. And y'all know I'm not no tough guy and all that, but we know a lot of rappers push that I'm a G type vibes and all that. And Rowdy Rebel and Bobby Shmurda did their time. Some of them even took more time to let others get less time, And it was seemed like they were set to come home and take over the rap game. And it's just been quiet from both these guys. You haven't heard much from them. I don't know. But that's it for the news. Jump in the comments. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. And I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.